All right, so I'm just gonna go back, look at the previous week here, have like a bit of a weekly recap. Full transparency, I already kind of did this. I just wanted to get this out there. For me to journal, to have it here, so I can go back to, but also for anyone else that would be interested in seeing my perspective of how this week went. I took one trade and one loss on Wednesday, and that was all I did this week. Now you're going to see how there was actually more opportunities than just that one trade on Wednesday. I'm not upset with that trade I took on Wednesday because I did follow my trading plan. But Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday also had setups for me based around my trading plan that I just did not take advantage of. So we'll go through that here. So coming into the week, right, this Monday here, this daily fair value gap and the weekly fair value gap that wasn't filled in yet was my draw, right? So that was my draw coming into Monday, okay? And I want to see price come for these lows, okay? The magnet should be the PD array, which is the bullish fair value gap in the daily and the weekly, but also, where is the smooth price action? Is it here or is it here? It's here, okay? Up here is jagged, all right? We typically come for the smoother price action. Now on the 4 hour, we also have this big fair value gap here, okay? So our model is taking place inside of a higher time frame PD array, which we like to see. You can see the sweep here, but we'll also go to the 15-minute. You'll get a better perspective of it. So we have a sweep of the highs, displacement lower. Okay, so let's get to 9:30 here. All right, I'm looking for, can we maybe come up into this fair value gap and then drop off from there? That could be I wouldn't like this. I wouldn't set a limit order here, and the one reason I wouldn't do that is because of these equal highs here. But I would wait for us to enter here, and maybe we can get some displacement from there. That could be a trade. Or, right, what do? We sweep once more. So we have this higher time frame sweep, this sweep. You can see better on the 5-minute, right? And then what do we do from there? We proceed to go lower towards our draw. Now I'll go to the 3-minute because that's where this, the only entry would have been available to us, would have been on the 3-minute time frame. Yeah, it's right there. You would have a limit order set here, right? I would put my stop above the high there, and you can target this right here for 1 to 3. That's a proper trade right there. Follows my trading plan perfectly, and boom. Okay, so that's trade number 1 that we just didn't take on a live account. We, I wouldn't say, say we missed it. We were here to watch price do that. I get my own head, man. I'm looking at this price action and I'm not really loving it. Like, I didn't like how he came up here. I remember saying that I felt like this was too obvious to go lower because we had the sweep and we were just chopping inside the displacement for a long time here, allowing a lot of 2022 model traders like myself to get in, right? So I thought maybe that could be I was overthinking it, dude. Smooth price action down here, obvious draw on liquidity, boom. I should have been bearish on this day, I wasn't. All right, so that's trade number 1 on the week. Let's go to Tuesday here. So Tuesday, okay. We traded inside this daily fair value gap here, okay, inside the weekly fair value gap as well, right, and the sweep, right, we're sweeping lows, so I'm bullish. Now, my target then, okay, is this draw. This is my draw on liquidity. Now, I remember on Tuesday looking at this and saying, I was a little bit like, I didn't love it because we swept liquidity technically here. They weren't the best equal highs, but at the end of the day, it makes the most sense for our next draw. We tapped into a daily fair value gap, bullish fair value gap. We tapped into a weekly bullish fair value gap. We swept all the liquidity available to us, and a nice 15-minute sweep here as well. Okay. So that was the most obvious next draw, right? Now, this, in my opinion, was the best trade of the week out of the 4 that could have possibly been taken. Obviously, the one that I lost doesn't count as a best trade of the week, right? It's not a contention for it. But the other 2, on the one on Thursday, one on Monday, I think this one trumps them. So the entry would have been here. The entry would have been here, stop loss below the low, targeting this. Now I'm curious, does the 5-minute give us an entry or no? Oh, it just misses us. And then boom, comes for our liquidity. So that was, in my opinion, the best trade of the week. All right, clear sweep, clear direction, in my opinion. Not at the time of me sitting at the charts live, but looking back, there was a clear direction here, to be honest with you. And I'm more upset, not that I missed the trade, but I just didn't kind of see that. I was so caught up in the fact that these weren't the best equal highs, so I was like, oh, I don't know if that's where price wants to draw to. But think about where price shouldn't draw to too. Price should not be going any lower than, well, if it's showing intention to go higher here, it shouldn't be going any lower, right? Like clean sweep, daily fair value gap, weekly fair value gap, right? So there's the second trade of the week, second winner. Go to Wednesday. Okay. So Wednesday, I'm again bullish. I'm bullish on Wednesday because we tapped into this yesterday and we had a decent reaction off of it. Tapped into the daily fair value gap, nice bullish reaction. Okay. Also remember we're inside of the weekly fair value gap as well. All right. And on top of all that, we have these equal highs here. I thought it was a decent draw. Okay. Now, there's something to be said about, some smoothness in the highs, but we had this sweep here too. Now, the way the candles closed, I get it. So it's understandable to me why we went the direction we did, but I'm not upset with how I rationalized the draw on liquidity. It made sense to me. Okay. And had I, Monday, Tuesday, I'm thinking the same things. So Monday, Tuesday, that allows me to get 2 winners. Okay. If my bias fails me on a day and I lose a trade, it is what it is. On this day, the one day I decided to take a trade, my bias failed me, or, I got the bias wrong. It is what it is. But yeah, that was my reasoning behind being bullish. Right. The equal highs above here, sweep, tap into a daily fair value gap. Those are my reasons. Now, one reason that arguably I didn't follow my trading plan, but it's a bit of a technicality because here's the deal. When I'm getting in this trade, we're reacting positively still, or we had reacted positively off the daily fair value gap here. So there's my higher time frame PD array. I typically like to look for my model to take place inside of a 4-hour or a 1-hour PD array as well, which we didn't have here. So that's the one caveat where it's like, okay, maybe a preventative measure there. But I still think I followed my trading plan well here. Again, these equal highs are even more prevalent on the 1-hour. You see them nicely there. And again, where's the jagged price action? Where's the smooth price action, right? You got to think of that. Smooth price action here, jagged here. So in my mind, this is the draw. We're getting, some sweep, some distribution higher. And then you'll see we get another sweep here. Okay, so I enter off of this big candle, right? Once we tap into it for that fair value gap to get tapped into, that's when I'm entered in, and I was targeting again those highs, and it stopped me out when it came below the low there. So there we go. That was the one loss and the one live trade I took this week. Okay, so that was that trade. Now we'll go back to the 1 hour and go to Thursday, excuse me. And Friday, we're not even going to go over, because Friday, legitimately, well, it was the day before a 3-day weekend, and it was very choppy price action, as you know, sort of predicted. I was sitting there still, waiting, sat in my hands the whole day, but I told myself I was going to sit at my desk until, some days I have class at 11:30, but I'm going to sit at my desk, if I can, until 11:30. If I can't, then to 11. But I'm sitting at my desk, and you're going to see why. Because this Thursday trade here, had I been sitting at my desk, that's a trade I take. The reason I didn't take the trade, I left 10 minutes into market open. So at like 9:40, I decide, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym. I have my draw on liquidity. It looks like it's about to get taken 10 minutes into market being open here. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'm pretty much done. And then I'm sitting in the gym. I say, you know what, I'm like 20, 30 minutes into my workout. I'm like, let me go on trading with you. Let me see what price is doing. And I'm seeing an opportunity unfold right before my very eyes, and I'm not getting in the trade when I'm sitting on a bench at the gym. So that was that. I missed it. So here we go. Enough of that. Okay, bullish again, right? We're still respecting this daily fair value gap / weekly fair value gap. Okay, on top of that, now we have, right, these highs. These equal highs still haven't been taken, right? Because that was my target from yesterday, and it just didn't get taken. So that's my target. Okay. Now, go to the 1 hour. Right. Equal highs once more. Right. That can be taken, right? And so we get this. We get this, and then we get this candle. And I say, well, there's no sweep. My model wasn't here. All right, well, it looks like it's going to draw to my liquidity here without me, and that's that. So I was like, you know what, there's no sense in me sitting here any longer. Let me go to the gym. And then I'm at the gym, and you'll see this. Okay, it's going to trade back into a 15-minute fair value gap. That's our higher time frame PD array in this situation, right? You can also see that we created 2 inversion fair value gaps on the hourly, and we tapped into this one and almost tapped into this one. Okay, but the 5-minute, you see the sweep right here. Okay, and the 1 minute, right, we're getting in right here. Okay, stop underneath the low, target the draw on liquidity. I could also put my limit order here if I wanted to be a little bit less aggressive, because maybe this wasn't enough distribution for me higher. I get it, although we did break structure, so that follows the trading plan. But a lot of times I like to be a little bit more conservative, so this would have made more sense for an entry for me, right? Targeting that. Okay. And as you can see, price came up to it. Now, I like to think the majority of my trade would have been taken off at this point. Actually, I know it would have been. I'm very, very good with risk management and trade management. But we don't actually end up coming for this high. Crazy. So that's 2 days in a row. We're building liquidity here. Building liquidity. But that's another winning trade on Thursday. And then Friday, again, like I said, is literally nothing. Right, this is Friday. Just continued to kind of consolidate there. So, yeah, but that was the week. So definitely some lessons in there. I have to learn. My biggest thing from this past week was execute, man. Execute. Be a robot. If my trading, or if my model's there, and it fits my trading plan, Be a robot and enter that thing, man. Don't second guess yourself. Don't think, oh, what if I lose? What if I win? Just be a robot and enter. If you lose, you win. It doesn't matter. It's still a good day if you follow your trading plan, right? It's that simple. So be a robot and execute is my biggest thing for this next week, right? If I was a robot and executed on Monday, Tuesday, we have 2 winners. Also on Thursday, right, glue myself to my seat. All right, but that was the week.